Perfect. Welcome, everyone. My name is Sydney Maurer. I am the Senior Manager of the West Region. Super excited to be here with you guys tonight for this amazing call with the trainer of the hour, talking all about MBF, MBFA, and seriously, guys, I cannot say enough of how excited I am for this group. But first, let's welcome the teams we have here. We have a couple awesome teams with us. We have Chelsea Lipstru's team, Katrina Scott's team, and Megan Geese's team. Do you guys want to say anything or kind of start off the call a little bit before we introduce Megan?
Hello, I'm Samantha. I am from Team Misfits, and I just wanted to say I'm grateful to be on here listening, and I appreciate your guys' time.
Love it. Thank you. Does Chelsea or Katrina or Megan want to add anything as well?
I will echo that. Just absolutely grateful for the chance to have Megan in front of our teams and be able to ask questions, and it's quite the honor. Cannot wait to see her.
Yes, me too. We can get Megan. Are you here? I think we're still waiting a couple minutes for Megan to join us, actually. Yes. Okay, well, we'll hold tight for a minute. No big deal. Oh, here she comes. Okay, so a couple quick things. Like I said, I just put the Facebook link into the chat room or the chat box. The group starts on tomorrow. It's 3 weeks, coach exclusive. If you have any questions while we're talking about this, I'll also post the FAQ into the chat box. It's FAQ. I had it memorized. Let me grab it and I'll put it in the chat box. But while I'm doing that, let's introduce the woman of the hour because we're so freaking excited for this group. Megan, are you there?
I am here, guys.
Perfect. So Megan, I'll just kind of let you take it away. Tell us about yourself. Tell us how this program started. Tell us all about the program, and then we'll do a Q&A at the end.
Cool. Sounds good. So thank you guys so much for just taking the time to even listen. You know, I keep on telling everybody that I make programs, but you guys are the ones that bring it into the community. So I just appreciate you guys taking the time. But I'll tell you guys a little bit about myself if you haven't heard my story yet, because I do tend to tell it often, but it gets requested. And also, I think it's the best way to kind of connect with you guys so you understand where I'm coming from a little bit better. And I think that will kind of connect you with the program a little bit better too. I got started in fitness very young. I was 14 years old and I decided to do fitness and figure competitions. And from there, I just kind of fell in love with strength training. And most people sit there and say, okay, well then her family was very fit, because what 14-year-old basically decides that they want to be a bodybuilder? This one. And my family was not very fit. It was literally just something random that I decided that I wanted to do. The rest of my family, they were very sedentary, they had horrible eating habits, and I was just outworking those horrible eating habits at the time. I had, you know, my youth going for me, and basically I just loved being always the active one in the household. So I continued strength training for a few years, and my family was all having some health issues, some weight issues. And so one day I was in one of my competitions, and during intermission, my family was sitting there. I went out to go say hi to them. I looked at my dad and I said, you know, Dad, I feel so sorry for you. And at the time, he was about 100 pounds overweight. He had a host of health issues, but that didn't occur to me. Like, it didn't occur to me at that point that my dad was overweight. Like, to me, he was Superman. And where it was really coming from is the fact that I knew that at some point in his life, he was athletic. He liked working out. He liked to take care of himself. That I just saw him day to day working himself into the ground, super stressed out all the time, trying to provide for me and my brothers, but not always doing what he needed for himself. And I always say, like, your kids want better for you just like you want better for them. And they don't always have the words. And I was just lucky enough to kind of say it in the way that I did, because that's truly what I was seeing, was that he wasn't happy. And so he decided right then and there that he wanted to make a change. He was 47 years old at the time, and he decided that by the time he was 50, he wanted to also do a bodybuilding show, because if you know my dad, it's all or nothing. So it couldn't just be like, I want to lose some weight and get healthier. Like, yes, do a bodybuilding show. So at 47 years old, he decided this, and it took him a year to lose the weight, but he still didn't feel like he looked like a bodybuilder. So he decided, well, I need to really learn about nutrition. And right here, like, it was just as important for me at this time to start learning about nutrition. I was probably like, getting close to like 19 years old now. I had done a national show at the time and was getting ready to go on stage. My cycle was messed up. My hair was falling out. You wouldn't know it by looking at me because I looked like I belonged on stage. I had the six pack, but my health was horrible at this point. My body was going crazy inside. And so I say it's just as important at that point for my dad, who needed to lose 100 pounds to learn about nutrition, as it was for me, looking like the epitome of health and fitness, to learn about nutrition, because I was not healthy. Abs do not always equal the most fit, healthy person. And so we started learning about nutrition together, working out together. My mom got involved, but her thing was more dance. My brother was always a gamer. He got involved in lifting. And eventually we just started making this big transformation as a family. And so my dad got on stage by the time he was 50. His goal was just not to embarrass himself, but he ended up winning the men's over 50 masters division. And so it was just kind of like the cherry on top of this big transformation we had made as a family. I got to go on stage and give him his trophy and everything. And it was just an amazing experience. And I think as coaches, you guys see this too, of course. You start sharing your experience, what you're doing, what's working for you, and automatically people are like, I need to make a change too. What are you doing? And that started happening with us in the age before social media. And we started training people in my dad's garage and teaching them nutrition lessons in our living room, and just trying to help them become healthier versions of themselves. And that grew slowly into a gym. So I've owned a gym with my family for 9 years now. It's kind of like my day-to-day. And my mom's our office manager, also our dance instructor. She does all of our marketing. If I ever have like a marketing question about Facebook or Instagram or anything like that, I ask my 63-year-old mother, and she's way more on top of it than me. And then my dad is a trainer. My brother is a trainer. So we all work together day to day, just helping, I think, like the average person that wants to lose fat and gain muscle and feel better about themselves. That's what it's about for us. I don't train athletes. I don't train, celebrities or anything like that. I just train people that want to feel better about themselves. And so that's been growing now for 9 years. And in 2015, I was asked if I wanted to apply. It was through an agency, and they asked if I wanted to apply for a reality show. And I said, no, that sounds like my nightmare. Because if there's anything you guys should also know about me, it's that I'm a big introvert. And if you would have told me even a couple of years ago that I would be talking to this many people, getting on stage at things like Summit, like I would have told you you're absolutely out of your mind. And so when they asked me to do this reality show, I said, camera following me around 24 hours a day. No, thank you. And so they asked me a second time. They're like, please, it's going to be a positive experience. It's for this company called Beachbody. And I said, well, I don't know what that is, and I don't want to do a reality show. No, thank you. And so third time's a charm, they asked me again. And that's when I was kind of like, okay, I auditioned for probably 100 things out of the year. It was a hobby mostly, because I would only get hired 1 or 2 times a year. So I was like, out of 100 auditions and my, average of 2%, I'll take my odds that I'm not going to get chosen for this. So I sent in the videos. And then a couple months later, to my horror, they called me back and told me I was moving forward in the audition process. So I went on to the 20s. I had a lot of misconceptions about Beachbody going into the 20s. I looked at the shake and I said, oh, this is the shake company. That was actually the first day of the 20s. I walked in, there was a big Shakeology sign. I went, ooh, it's the shake company. And I had no idea what was in Shakeology, what Shakeology was. I was like, I don't know about this. Workouts, I saw names like Insanity. I'm like, they're just trying to make people throw up. Like, that's not how you get somebody healthier and more fit. Like, I had no idea that there's modifiers, levels, other programs available, nutrition programs. I figured that they were just starving people down. Like, these are the misconceptions I came in with, and kind of said, well, I'm here, I made it, and I might as well go through this program. And during the 20s, like all of those misconceptions got torn down. Like my mind was blown with this company because I realized that this is what my family needed when we first got started, when we were searching for all those answers and nobody was there to help guide us. This is like the one-stop shop that we needed to get the nutrition, to get the accountability, to get solid workouts and programs. It really went from a situation where I did not want to be there at all to I have to put my heart and soul into this. I have to be able to work with this company. Like I'm so excited about it. And so I ended up winning the 20s, which is still on BOD if you guys want to check that out. And then you'll know everything about me from A to Z because they did follow us around with cameras for 24 hours a day. And they filmed us for 8 weeks. But after that, we started creating Clean Week. And that was a program really to introduce people into all things Beachbody, like I needed to be introduced into Beachbody, to show them all the different components, to introduce them into Shakeology, to introduce them into the accountability and the support that comes from Team Beachbody. So that's really why we created Clean Week, and to just get people moving again. Like I said, I don't train athletes, I train the average person, and always that first week is the hardest. So we created Clean Week, but I kind of always had in my mind, like I want a strength training program. I want to include some of this high intensity exercise, like lifting heavy and moving fast are my two things that I want to bring into a program. And so at the end of last year, well, Carl and I have been talking about this for a long time, more than the end of last year, but at the end of last year, we really narrowed it down. And then Carl said, well, I want to challenge you to put your vision to music. And so that's where the music came in. And at first I was terrified about that too, because I've never taught to music before. I've been a trainer for, 13 years, but I had never taught to music before. It was a whole new ballgame for me, but also now it's a whole new ballgame as far as my training is concerned. Like it keeps you on the beat. It keeps your intensity up. Like if you're really following that tempo training is no joke. And I think it just also keeps you very honest about your pace of your workout, because the beat's going to start after your rest time and you have to start with it or else you're going to be behind. So for me, it keeps me on point throughout my entire workout. It makes it fun. It makes it feel like it goes by fast. So I think you guys are really going to love actually the music component the way I love it now. And so we created 2 3-week programs, MBF and MBSA. I want you guys to think of these as a 6-week program. Yes, they're broken into 2, but I don't want you to think about these as 2 very different programs where I can either cycle MBF or either cycle MBFA. I've seen many people saying they're only going to do one or the other. These programs work together. And so if you do one without the other, there's moves that we prioritize in one program that we don't prioritize in the other program. So you're going to be missing something, and they are so close. MBFA is the next step up. MBFA is 5 more minutes than MBF. So if you pick up heavier weights through MBF, you're going to get your butt kicked. And then we're going to take it up a notch with MBFA, yes, but it is only that next little step. So I don't want somebody seeing the word advance and then being like, well, I can't because it says advance. There's always modifications for you to get through this workout. And I've had all ages, shapes, sizes do this program successfully. So you guys can do absolutely both programs. Obviously, the coach test group starts tomorrow, or the coach early access starts tomorrow. I think, like insider information, I think it's going to go live at like 8 p.m. Pacific time tonight around. So if you guys wanted to get on that tonight, you could. And yeah, so the group is going to start tomorrow. And I think I already heard Sydney talking about the group to you guys. So it's #MBF VIP Training Bootcamp on Facebook. Once you sign up, it's going to send you a link anyways. But if you want to go in and already request to join, you just need your coach ID. They're going to ask you for it, and then they'll put you in. That group is going to be with me going through the next several weeks, because I want you guys to have that inside view of what this program is all about, why we created certain things, why things pair together, how you can help your customer, not only about you guys, but how you can help your customer get the best experience from this program too is going to be really important as we go through this journey together. And just form cues and everything, I'm going to be in there with you guys. So we have that going on. And, I really want you guys to challenge yourself with the weights. So everybody's been asking me, well, light, medium, and heavy, what does that mean for me? Light, medium, heavy is obviously weight is relative. However, if you typically use between 5 and 10 pounds or something like that, I want you taking that next pair of dumbbells and trying to use them more and more through this program. Whatever that next step is for you, I want you to try those dumbbells. I would say the average person uses between 5 to 15 pounds. I use anywhere from 5 to 25 pounds. And I also have to talk the entire time. So sometimes I feel like, I don't know if I can make it if I lift any heavier. So maybe if I didn't have to talk, I could go a smidge heavier. But my guys are typically using between 5 to 35 pounds or something like that. So just whatever that next step is for you, try to use it. And since it's a heavier pair of dumbbells for you, that's probably going to equate to leg day, like picking up the heavier pair of dumbbells for leg day. You don't have to do it day one. Like, allow yourself some time, make sure you have your form on point, and challenge yourself with that weight is what I'm saying. Because if you're doing the same thing in and out, there's one thing that I keep on hearing, which is people telling me, well, I've done this program, that program, and the other program, and I have 5, 8s, and 10s, and I've been working out for years doing Beachbody programs. And I'm like, okay, that's great that you've been working out for years, but let's take it to the next step. Like, challenge your body to that, whatever that next little step is for you. That's what I challenged you guys during these workouts. And I know your first challenge is going to be finding weights in quarantine. It's an issue, but if you do have the weights, pick them up, that next heavier pair of dumbbells. And lastly, we'll talk about this and then we'll open up for questions. I'm sure you guys have a lot. The challenge packs. The challenge packs are the best value of any challenge pack you have ever seen. For no additional cost from our normal challenge pack, you now have access to UPF and 2B mindset. And that is huge for your clients, okay? They are gonna get access to both as if they purchased both of those programs. It's not a trial version. They get both programs. So the trial portion, you do get one portion that's a trial, and that's to the monthly fix and the 2B membership. So those monthly programs that each of those have, that's a trial version. Otherwise, all that program is yours. So this is huge. Everybody's been asking me, but what did your test group use? What do you use? What's the best one? What's going to give me the best results? And the answer is so individual. If you shove somebody into something that they're not ready for or to something that doesn't work in their lifestyle, they're never going to stick with it. And so they might do it for the 6 weeks. They might get great results in the 6 weeks, but ultimately they're going to wipe their hands of it because it doesn't fit into their lifestyle. So somebody has more issues with emotional eating, 2B mindset. Somebody likes a little bit more structure, UPF. But I think this gives you the opportunity to really talk to your customer, educate them on both, let them explore both, and then they get to pick that option and they get to be successful with it and use it forever. So it's just huge, guys. So make sure that you're telling your customers all the other things that they're getting when they buy their challenge pack. It's not just bod ropes and access to the workout. There's so many other things included, and that nutrition is a big one because that's what's going to give your clients the best results and what's going to make them happiest for you or with you. I guess one more thing, because I do have a success story that I want to share with you guys, and then we really will open up for questions, I promise. So this person, and her picture has now been starting to circulate because I've been sharing it more and more because I'm just so proud of her. But her name's LL. And she was part of my original test group when people had to audition because it was in person up until quarantine when we got shut down. But originally it was in person. And she walked in, and I guess just happened to walk in. It was like small groups of people that were auditioning together. She walked in with a group of people that were plus size women. And so she looked around and said, I feel very comfortable. I feel like this is going to be the program for me that I can do. Day one of working out, she walked into the room. And while we did have all ages, shapes, and sizes, she did not see somebody that she identified with. She looked into the room and said, these are all fit people. I don't belong here. She literally walked out of the room at first because she thought she was in the wrong room. And then she walked back in. I could tell she was upset. I was like, what can I do? She's like, I just want to work out in the back of the room. I'm work out in the back of the room then. I'm going to have modifiers for you. I'm going to make this work for you. Don't worry. And honestly, she said she wanted to leave after that first day, but something about signing the contract with Beachbody saying that she was going to show up every single day and that she was going to follow the nutrition. She was like, well, I guess I signed that contract. I'm going to keep on showing up. And luckily she did, because she went from this mindset of feeling like everybody was looking at her and judging her, and they weren't. They're the best group of people, like totally amazing. But you feel like that when you're uncomfortable. And so she went from feeling like everybody was looking and judging her to, I don't care if they're looking, I don't care if they're judging, because I'm doing this for me. I'm showing up for me and not for anybody else. And I'll do all the modifications that I need to do in order to make this program work. I told you guys that I wanted you to do this as like a 6-week block. Of course, if you have somebody that's beginner that wants to cycle MBF a couple times before they go on, that's kind of why it's split up like that. But when I originally created this program, I hadn't really set that up yet. And she was at the beginning. And so she ended up doing MBF and then cycling MBFA. She's been doing this for 18 weeks. So LL in 18 weeks and doing mostly MBFA has lost 61 pounds. She has done absolutely incredible. She will be the first person to tell you that she modified 80-90% of the workout. She did push-ups from the wall. She was uncomfortable getting down to the floor and back up, so she had a weight bench next to her. So if we were going to bench from the floor, she laid down on her weight bench. She did core moves from a standing or seated position. She rested when she needed to. She was very responsible about where her starting point was and what she needed to do in order to make this program work for her, I will say. Because sometimes people start out and they go from 0 to 100 real fast, and that's when problems start happening. But she was very responsible about where she needed to be doing this program. And so she, like I said, has been mostly doing MBFA, and she has absolutely crushed it. 61 pounds in 18 weeks. For her, that's a healthy weight loss, first of all, because it's a little over 3 pounds a week. And she has been steady that entire time. And she made sure that nutrition was a priority. And I've been helping her through 2B mindset, because I told her this program is going to work for you. It's not going to work if you're trying to measure, because she has emotional eating issues. And so 2B mindset is going to be better for her. Like I said, if you have somebody who needs a little bit more structure, UPF is going to be better. But for her, I knew that 2B mindset was going to be her soulmate program. She was fighting me at first. I'm like, I'm sending you on Amazon Alana's book right now. I'm like, it's going to be amazing. I'm like, you're doing this. So this program can truly work for anybody. We have our modifier, Lacy. She's incredible. I call out to her all the time, and she pops right up on screen. 90% of the modifications for this program are going to be less weight and less range of motion, which we talk to and pull her up plenty for that. But mostly she also gets pulled up. If the move is very different, she gets pulled up for that within the first rep. She's going to be there showing you how to make whatever move work for you. So this is really for everybody, just help your challengers get out of the mindset of, especially when they go to the advanced version, like they're just like, advanced, I can't. I could have called it MBF beginners. Everybody would have done it. Could have been the same exact workout and everybody would have done it. So don't get hyped up about that advanced version. It's just that next step up, and that's what we're preparing you for that first 3 weeks. So yes, she did. I see all the comments now, and she did absolutely amazing. That's why I'm so excited to share with you guys about what this program can do, because it truly is incredible. They've all worked very hard, and there's even more results coming out that have updated, because a lot of these people are still going, and some of the results have updated. And not only has she lost over 60 pounds, I have 4 more people that have lost over 50 pounds. I have plenty of people in the 30 to 40 pound range, people in the 20 pound range, people that, only had a couple pounds to lose and look, absolutely fit and amazing now. People that didn't want to lose weight, everybody. I have a 61-year-old person in my test group too. So ages, welcome.
I love this. Okay, some questions. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, Lauren asked, any tips from a test group to best utilize bod ropes while everyone's getting used to them? So talk a little bit about your bod ropes.
So the bod ropes are funny because everybody thinks like, oh, they're going to be so easy. And they definitely still have a learning curve to them, because you're going to find that your non-dominant hand is like, what do we do with this? As you're using the bod rope, just don't get frustrated in those first few days. Have fun with it, because it's just going to take a little bit of time, maybe a week or two, to just get used to that wrist motion. When you're doing a regular jump rope, for those of you that maybe do regular jump rope, your dominant hand is doing most of the work and you don't even realize it. So this really kind of shows that discrepancy once you get those two individual bod ropes in your hands. But they add just another layer to this program of something that's fun. Beginners are great for it because they can modify it easily. Also, we transition a lot, so it's nice to just be able to grab them in and keep going with your workout instead of having to deal with the full rope. You don't hit anything in your house or anyone in your house. For advanced, I saw Mwala post the other day and he was like, I'm training double unders because this is going to help me with my speed training and coordination of my wrist movement. So literally from beginner to advanced, these are a great product. That being said, I do not want you to be worried about when you're starting because you don't have your bod rope yet, because it is not going to make or break your results if you don't have your bod rope for the first 7 days of the program or whatever it ends up being. Some of you have done 80-day obsession and Autumn air roped through 80-day obsession. It's not going to make or break you. The bod ropes are like a half a pound each. So they kind of give you a little bit of like, it's something substantial, but it's not like a weighted jump rope where you're going to be like really working to turn these things over. So I also don't want you using dumbbells. People have been talking like, oh, just grab a 1 pound, 2 pound dumbbell because they have them from Bar Blend or something. And I'm like, I would rather you almost use like dish towels or something, because it just is going to turn and have that motion a lot better. And I feel like if you're swinging around dumbbells like that, you're just asking for some shoulder issues down the road. So no dumbbells, but get started as soon as possible. Don't worry about your bod ropes. I'm thinking about this and I'm like, well, somebody can either push off that start and be worried about something so micro as their bod rope, and then they get to a week from now and they could have had that week of change already. So don't be so worried about the bod ropes and just get started, because you're going to have better results. You can get through another round of MBF again with your customers before you even get into MBFA that comes out in August.
Perfect. Okay, next question was from Helena. So since this is a new approach, including nutrition, advice for a coach guiding people after, so they've chosen their nutrition program, what are tips to help them get the best results with your program?
If they've chosen their nutrition program, just make sure that you're also helping to guide your customers through it, because it can be very overwhelming if somebody's brand new to Beachbody and to either nutrition program. You start a health and fitness routine and that can be very overwhelming. So just make sure that you're guiding them through it as well. Take it one day at a time. To me, I feel like people beat themselves up too much. Like, this should be a learning process. And if you're beating yourself up every step of the way for any little thing, it does not have to look perfect, guys. So I think that's my biggest piece of advice is go through this process, educate yourself about the programs, help your challengers, and then this is not a perfect world, okay? I ate a cupcake today on set. Like, don't beat yourself up about these little things that happen day to day when you're working so hard to make this incredible change.
Okay, next question. For following UPF, do you consider MBF moderate or extreme challenging for the calculations?
It's going to be moderate for both. The calculations are based on time of the program. So both MBF and MBFA will fall under moderate for the UPF calculations. Okay.
And then, so Rachel asked, because of COVID, we're not able to go buy heavier weights because all the weights have been sold out. Would you recommend someone instead of doing 15 reps, do like 30 reps using the same weight?
So
more reps.
The way the program is designed, and you guys got a taste of this in the sample workout, is you have an asymmetrical block that block is going to always have higher reps involved. And then you have more of a strength block where you go back and forth between two exercises. And that one you can kind of like change out your weights and go a little bit heavier on, because those are always going to have like 6 to 8 reps. You have plenty of variations in there and plenty of work week to week. And you're with the beat. So what's going to happen if you go off the beat and you try to lift faster and still get it done in the same time is you're going to be all over the place. So I wouldn't really recommend to do that in this situation, but I promise you, whatever weight you've been using, you're going to be challenged.
Okay, and last question, we get it all the time. Tell me about pregnant people.
Yes.
Can they do this program? What are your thoughts?
So I've been saying that I didn't design this program with pregnancy in mind or postpartum in mind. There's just certain things where the modifier does not modify in a way that's appropriate for pregnancy. They shouldn't be on their back for prolonged periods of time. Obviously, they don't want to be laying on their stomach. Even twisting during core work can be contraindicated sometimes. So especially during those core sections, there's just things that they're going to need to know about working out while they're pregnant. Now, their doctor can educate them about that. And if they know kind of what to go to or how to modify that into a standing or seated position, then they're going to be fine. But I think that comes with a little bit of background of what they should and shouldn't be doing. So I have had plenty of pregnant and postpartum women go through this program successfully, but I just think that education is important, and obviously always talking to your doctor beforehand.
Awesome. Well, Megan, I think that's it for tonight. Thank you so much for being here and talking to all of us. And I did hear it's live right now.
You guys are the first to know it is live. Go get it. I saw Jen say, I was on the fence about doing this program, but what the hell? Thank you, Jen. Get in there with your challenge group, guys. Get in that Facebook group, because I want to be there to help you guys through this process. And just thank you guys for sharing this and with your communities and everything like that. That's what's going to make this successful for people, is you guys guiding them through it. So I just really appreciate you.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Megan, so much. Everyone, let's go do this. Let's get in the freaking group and let's start tomorrow. I'm so excited, and I'll see you guys all there tomorrow in the group.
Love it. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Goodbye.